Hi,
Hey, good
Senator.
morning, Chris and Sabina. Jason, good morning.
Good morning. So tell us, I guess, how you got tested. Did you say Tuesday? Yesterday?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tuesday I went to I lined up at 9 o'clock at the Dededo Public Health Center. And then maybe about 3:40, closer to 4, I got the call. And that's when I was informed that I was COVID positive.
And you were saying that you were feeling symptoms because this wasn't your
Yeah,
first test.
yeah. So Um, I was informed, as was every other member of the legislature. I was informed on late Wednesday, about 11:50, something like that, in the evening, that we were exposed to a member of the legislature who tested positive. It wasn't until Friday night that I got a fever and body aches, and then Saturday, man, I'll tell you, that was something. I tried to get in on the first scheduled test that the legislature arranged for the body. That was Monday. But by the time I followed up, it was too late. So I went to the next available test, and thanks to the professional staff at the legislature, I was able to get my name on a list for the 9 o'clock testing, which because of the line didn't occur till like 11:30, I guess. But the point is, I got tested. This is my second test.
Yeah.
I took a test as a precautionary measure back in April. My daughter was coming, and every member of the household also got tested. We were all negative, at the time, and showed no symptoms. Well, I was negative there. I took the serology test. Sorry to be accurate. And this time, the result came back with a nasal swab, both nostrils. My gosh, came back positive. But it was an experience. I can't say that I have symptoms now. Maybe you can hear a little scratchy throat, but
Yeah.
I
You look
didn't have.
you look sick
I
though.
didn't. Huh?
You look sick. I mean, I could tell you're
Hey,
yeah.
thanks. Okay. Yeah. Well, I don't have a fever, and I'm not experiencing any body aches. I haven't experienced any body aches since maybe Monday.
Right.
But no, no, I did not experience the other symptoms like diarrhea. I think there's another symptom, coughing,
Loss
and I
of
certainly didn't.
loss of
Uh,
taste and smell.
no, ironically, I had that. I mean, I was able to taste chicken noodle soup with no salt. The salty-less chicken noodle soup. That
Right,
was the
right.
worst.
Yeah.
I mean, my God, you don't have to be sick to understand there's no salt in that. But I had my taste, and I certainly didn't have respiratory problems. That's for sure.
You know, when
But
we're when we're trying to get you on the Zoom, you had texted that you were informing the family. So how did that go and what did they say?
yeah, well, so my family, what I meant, that text applied to all my family on the family chat. And so that's why when you said get on at 9, I really couldn't. I was getting all kinds of feedback.
Right, right, right.
Then I informed my church, my Knights of Columbus. I had no contact with them for a long, long time, but they deserve to know first, my brothers in Christ. And then I informed the senators themselves directly. And then you were the first official media outlet I had sent the official release to. And so it's pouring. I can tell you right now, I don't even want to look. If I looked at my phone, I could tell you it's just coming in left and
Right,
right.
right. Yeah.
But gosh, if this is an opportunity for anything, I encourage people, as conservative as I am, and I have my own perspective on COVID. Man, I will never downplay the importance of testing. I will never downplay the importance of protecting your manamko. Ever since the first PCOR one, I have required my children and anybody in my immediate household. My father doesn't live in my household, but he lives near my household. But we used to have dinners every night until it started to get serious here with the COVID, right? And so we don't kiss my father. My children don't touch my father because we know what that can do. And I'm gonna tell you firsthand that even if COVID-19, this novel coronavirus, is in fact just another form of a flu, that was hell. It was painful. I couldn't get through 2 nights without painkillers, Tylenol. I only stopped on the third day because, it was advised that I don't go a third day with taking Tylenol. So guess what? So I know this is a pitch for Lemonchina. I went straight to the Lemonchina tree, man, and cut that up. And as hard as that was, and as bitter, I boiled the pants out of it, and I served that up twice, 2 servings, 2 days. And I recommend don't wait to be susceptible to that, to be exposed. Man, it's going to be part of my routine. Cut up Lemonchina, boil it down, put in some syrup if you can't stand the bitterness. Pick the ripe ones, or get the ripe ones on the floor.
Right.
But other than that, I think that's what did it for me in terms of faster recovery.
Right. So no hydroxychloroquine, just Lemonchina. Was there any Vicks or warm 7-Up folded into this treatment, Senator?
No, I avoided carbonated drinks because I had a Coke on Friday afternoon, man, or a Pepsi rather, or I had a soft drink. And I'll tell you what, I had body pains all up here. And I think it's because of gas, right? If you shift your body, gas travels up, so you burp or comes out the other way. But I avoided all any chance for gaseous buildup. I couldn't sleep, man. I was sleep deprived. That's what hurt the most. I had to take Tylenol PM, and that gave me 4 hours of sleep a night, unadulterated sleep.
Senator, do you think that you caught the COVID from the legislative staffer who tested positive? Was there enough interaction between you and that staffer?
The short answer is yes, and that's the only logical explanation. You got to keep in mind that we were going into lockdown already Thursday morning. The island was already anticipating PCOR 1 on Friday, but it was announced that I didn't go to a restaurant. I certainly didn't go to a bar. I didn't go anywhere public, and I certainly wasn't in a confined space with other bodies for more than 10 minutes other than the Guam legislature. So if you had to make a logical conclusion, that would be it. Other than that, I don't know. And I'm concerned if there's other ways to contract the disease. If there's other ways to contract the disease beyond having exposure to a carrier. But let me also say that, thank you, everybody who gets tested, and thank you to everybody who discloses that you are positive. It is so important because there's no way that the public health officials can do their job to protect you, not just you, but your family, and then the family and your acquaintances and their family. I have a lot of people in my social circles that care for elderly, and I don't know how I would handle it if I was responsible for that.
Yeah.
So,
but you're saying that prior to Wednesday you weren't, I guess, campaigning or.
No, as a matter of fact, again, it was ironic that week was one of our slowest weeks. We didn't put up any signs. I certainly didn't participate in any sign. I did a couple Zoom meetings. But no, if you had to go from the point of symptoms and then the prior notification, 48 hours at least, that was probably it. I don't know any other way to explain it. But again, I'm going to stress, get tested and do your part to inform your loved ones. And don't take a chance with the elderly or the sick in your family. Don't even take a chance. Just distance and they'll appreciate that until we get through this with a vaccine. The strong will survive. There's no doubt about it. It's going to be a painful experience, but that's not a reason to subject others to potential death or some kind of suffering that they don't deserve.
Now, so you're going to be teleworking. I mean, you seem a little sick still, but you're still going to be teleworking. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm not going to let my buddy Joe Sonogstein push me around, even in the budget work session, sick or not. Just kidding. Yeah, of course, we're going to have to work on the budget. This is a mean budget. I shared that there are 3 indices that I use. I'm no financial expert, but withholding tax, individual income tax, and the GRTs from March to July all showed warning signs of a forthcoming recession. And I'm going to submit my figures so that they can validate it. And that's why I'm going to attend and continue to raise these issues of concern. The record will show that I'm not against Lulian Guerrero because she's a Democrat or against his budget because it's a Democrat-led budget. I supported the last budget. But all things being what they are now, there's no way I can support without additional justification an increased budget over last year's budget. Makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
Makes no sense.
Yeah, but you might not be able to vote on it, right? Because you have to be in session.
Well, they're looking into that. I had a video conference with the leadership of the legislature. They're certainly going to bring this up with legal counsel. I was informed that if I'm asymptomatic, between 5 to 7 days from being asymptomatic, that I can take another test to validate that I'm no longer a carrier. If that's in fact true, then there's ample time to be prepared to go back into the legislature. Even if I had to be in the adjacent room or another room that they can sanitize, I get there and desanitize again or sanitize again. But I asked the speaker, I implored her, I said, ma'am, if there's one important job that senators, in my opinion, have to carry out, it's the passage of the budget. I mean, oversight and all those other things are important, but this is the one fundamental thing to this democracy, at least passing the budget.
Right on.
Senator, we've got to continue on with our Decision 2020 interviews. Chris wanted to ask.
Yeah, last question. Your thoughts on the primary election?
I hope people take advantage of the early voting. I hope people still come out to vote, just exercise social distancing. There's still a lot of excitement out there based on what I saw before the last week and a half. People are anticipating going to the polls to support their relative or loved ones at the mayoral level, especially. So I certainly hope you exercise the greatest degree of caution. I know that we even canceled our Friday wave, by the way. But I know that candidates are exercising a good judgment by not going door to door. We canceled our canvassing twice. So
yeah, and I want to ask you, what is it like? I mean, you've been aiming for Washington, D.C. I mean, everyone's been talking about it. Finally get your shot. Here comes COVID. I'm pretty sure you had a good plan for your campaign, but that's all out the window. So how difficult is it to campaign during COVID?
yeah, well, I never anticipated being locked up in my room. That's for sure. The whole pandemic paradigm has changed our strategy a lot, and I'd love to share that. I shared it before, but this is just, you're going to see what we're going to do in the coming days that will require no physical contact. But other than that, good luck to the contenders on the Democrat ticket. I look forward to a face-to-face exchange of ideas and showing how we contrast both in leadership style and in our agenda going forward between myself and the Democrat victor. God bless Guam and be safe for your family. Please get tested.
Man, no, I want to ask, so if you had do you have a different game plan for like Delegate St. Nicholas and, former Delegate Underwood, or is it the same?
Oh no, it's not. It's definitely not the same because they have different records and they have different priorities even at this point in time. So our team has been preparing opposition research for at least a month on both candidates. But if you notice my style, I'm not the kind of guy who's going to take that out and use it to bash them ahead of time. We'll draw the contrast when it's appropriate, and we'll let the people decide based on the merit of my arguments. But at no point in time will I attack the character of the individual. So people know that about me already.
Darn.
I'll just wait for him to come out and we'll see how it turns out.
Right
Good luck
on.
to Mr. Underwood and Mr. St. Nicholas. God be with your families and may you do your best to protect those who are vulnerable.
Well, we're going to let you rest up, Senator. I know Chris is trying to get you on something.
I'm juicy on this delegate race, man.
Yeah,
I can make 2 hours. I know.
He's good to the general. All right?
I know.
I'd be happy to take another call another time. You have my word.
Yeah,
Just
of
message
course,
you.
Senator. Right,
You're very
yeah.
pushy though, by the way, but I appreciate it.
Man,
you're calling me at 9. I didn't even brush my hair. I was so embarrassed. Okay.
It is what it is. All right,
Take care.
Senator. Yeah, be safe.
Bye, Sabina. Thank you, Jason.
Okay.
Bye.
Joss.
Thank you.
9:29. We are going to go to our
we're
KUA.
ready?
Yeah, we're ready. Are you ready? Right on. Let's go to our KUA